What's up, everybody? I am so glad you are here. Happy Friday to you. It is October, what date is this? The 18th. It's October 18th. And we had a little trouble starting this morning because we were just having some internet issues. We have like the best internet in the world, the best Wi-Fi. And but today on Friday and last Friday, it just didn't want to act right. So sorry, we're a little swiped out for lunch a little late today. But anyways, I'm so glad you are with us. So would you tell me, where are you joining me from lunch? And where are you from? What are we eating? What are we eating? I've waited all week. Last week we did the avocado toast, which was good and I enjoyed. But today for lunch, I am making fried PB&Js. Have you guys ever had a fried PB&J? So I learned this life hack. Thank you. I've learned this life hack from my niece. I think it was about a year ago, or maybe 2 years ago. We were in Florida, and we did we were at, what were we there? Oh, we were celebrating a birthday. That's what it was. We were celebrating a birthday. And my niece brought up something about a fried PB&J. And I was like, what are you even talking about, a fried PB&J? And so I'd never heard of such things. And she was like, yeah, let me make you one. And she made a fried PB&J. And when I tell you, it changed my whole world. So today for lunch, I was deciding, like, we got to have a couple of fried PB&Js. And yeah, it might not be the healthiest thing, but I think it's okay to have. So now I get to kind of see where you guys are from. Hey, Calvin from Savannah. I'm so glad you are here. Hi, Kate. I love you too. Come on, Rockland, New York. I see you, Stephanie. Tan, I love them. I can't eat them any other way. Okay, you already know. You guys are having Domino's. When I was able to eat dairy many years ago, I loved Domino's. And back then, like, at first I hated Domino's because I was just like, this pizza's rubbery. And then we found their thin crust, and we found a combination that we really liked: pineapples and onions. And I know it probably sounds crazy. Before, I would have never put pineapples on a pizza. And that combination of pineapples and onions, oh my gosh, on the thin crust from Domino's was everything. So enjoy your Domino's. I can't have it anymore. Hey, Audrey from Cali. Yep, that's not lunch for you yet, but snacking on some cheese and peanuts and cranberries. Yay. Hey, Lorinda from Kansas City. Alyssa from Cincinnati, Ohio. Yep, come on, homemade chicken noodles and soup. That is good. Creative Heart. Hey, Jew, Wisconsin in the building. Yes, Wisconsin. Never had a fried PB&J, and I'm gonna eat half of your corned beef sandwich. I love corned beef sandwich. Hey, Margaret from Las Vegas. Justina. Yep. Happy Friday, the Jew Crew. Yay, I love it. You guys are funny. I'm determined to make Jew Crew a thing. Oh my goodness. Oh, Lorinda's having gumbo. Yes. Gabrielle, you are at work in ATL. You know what? Timmy is going to be in Atlanta for his taping. I believe it's next week. So hopefully you'll get out to see him there. And hey, Netters Duck. So, yep, just one corn. Come on, corned beef. Yep. That's super great. I'm so glad you guys are joining today. Thank you, guys. I am enjoying having Friday lunches with you. So I have a couple of announcements to make, a couple of things I want to make sure I share with you guys. And we'll get started. And there's also some Q&As that I've got to answer that have come in that I want to make sure that we address today. So I want to know, how was everybody's week? And I'm going to let you know what I am serving up today. So we have some bread. You can do some fried PB&Js. I'm going to chat while I make this. You guys can't see it, but I have a little frying pan here and a little portable electric stove that we're going to make this fried PB&J with. And as you know, I have my melt butter that we're going to use. Just some basic strawberry. And because my kids have allergies, we don't use peanut butter technically. So we use sun butter, and I actually like it a lot better. And it actually tastes better. I don't miss the taste of peanuts, but the sun butter is amazing. So if you haven't tried it, go for it. So yeah, wherever you guys are, whether you're in Central Standard Time and it's lunch, you're across the world and it's dinner, or you're on the Pacific Coast and it is breakfast, I'm just glad you're joining me. I'm glad. Doesn't matter what you're eating. It's just getting to spend an hour with you. So I've got a couple of announcements. Now I'm going to turn on my little stove here. I have this cute little flat frying pan, and it's perfect just to make these little fried PB&Js. And all I do is just butter one side. My butter is already softened, and I'm just going to toast the bread. Of course, I could have just used the toaster because that would have made life more easier. But why not complicate it just a little bit and give it a better feel cooking it on the stove? So that's what I'm doing. Sometimes it's just that little extra love. There's something about it being on the stove that you get, just adds that little touch that you just cannot do it being in a toaster. Okay, I see this chat coming in. There's a lot going on in this chat. So make sure you guys note it, because we're going to get back to what they're saying, okay? But I want to get out a couple of announcements first. Come on, Michelle, you drinking coffee, watching the kids play? Yay, I'm so glad. All right, so here is what we're doing. I have a couple announcements. Next week, guys, next week, Friday, will be the first time. I know we just started, but next week, Friday, I will not be able to have lunch with you at 12 next Friday, because we're going to resume after that. It's just that next Friday, we do a lot. For this past year, I've literally built a bunch of businesses, and not just businesses. I built a one-stop shop platform for you guys, for our men, our women, our leaders, our marriages, people that need mentoring, counseling. I literally been working hard for a year for you guys. And so with that, next week is our retreats. So if you go to our site and you go under the Whole Woman Co stuff, we're launching the first retreat. I'm doing 4, but the first retreat starts next week, and it is October 24th through the 27th. And that is just for our pastors' wives. So for those of you that are pastors' wives, well, now this one is already sold out, guys. It's sold out in 2 days. So yay. But very passionate about these leaders. Most churches, if you guys know, I know some of them get a bad rap, pastors' wives. Some of them do. They don't. They are the most underserved, undervalued, and overworked parts. Sometimes they get a bad rap because some wives, like anybody else, or some pastors' wives, in a term, they get, what would I say? They get caught up in their role, like some leaders, right? Like a lot of people, they get caught up. And so I'm putting on retreats that are just for pastors' wives, to help restore, to love on them, to walk through life with them. That's exclusive for them. I know what it's like to be one, and just to be able to help them navigate their process. And so my goal is to make sure that whatever entity you're in, how can I be a service to you as best as I can? So the first retreat coming up is next week. So that's why I will not be able to do the Lunch with You next week, Friday, because I will be at the retreat, and I want to make sure that my time with them, that I give them all this quality time. So I spend time with them. There's only 5 that's allowed in the retreats for the pastors' wives. The next retreat that I'll be doing will be next year. I think we're going to do a Galentine's Day retreat. So 10 girls or 10 ladies, 10 women. It doesn't matter where you're from. You don't have to be in ministry. You don't have to be in leadership or do anything like that. You just can come to the retreat, and I host them myself. And we're just going to have a really great time. So that is probably around Valentine's Day. And then the third retreat is for those that probably, you may not be in Hey, Wanda, I love you. I love you. You may not be in ministry where you are the pastor or you're the leader, but you're in ministry and you're serving. Or maybe you're in the ministry of helps. Like maybe your spouse is in ministry a lot. And you're at home holding down the fort and taking care of the kids and, being home and just supporting your spouse. So I have a retreat just for you. So only 6 to 8 women allowed. I want to make sure that I can just love on you and pour into you and say, I see you. A lot of times people make churches and make ministry their bride first, and it's wrong. And so I want to help you navigate that and let you know that I see you and that you are important and that nothing that your spouse or whatever it is that you're doing goes unnoticed. And then the fourth retreat I do is for marriages. And I'm so excited because, as you know, marriage is, I'm just super, super passionate. I'm super passionate about relationships and relationships working. And I'm also here for if the relationship doesn't work. Okay, I'm here for that too. Like, you got to make decisions for yourself. So we're very real. I'm very real. I'm not going to ever encourage you to stay in something that is not helpful for you. So yes, but I see some people are coming in. Oh my goodness. Hi guys. Hey, Holly from New Jersey. Is this live, right? This is live. We are live. I've made it. Leslie, is that Leslie over here in London? Hey, Leslie, thank you for joining us all the way from the UK. Yes. Oh, you're having dinner. Thank you so much. I love it. Get all your UK friends and family. I have dinner with them too. I would love it. And we can chat. So, oh my goodness. Hey, no worries about your meeting, Blaze. Thanks for coming. And I'm so glad you're here. I was just giving updates on why I won't be able to have the live next week. And I'm doing the retreat. So that's why I'll be out. And then the following week, we will be back after that. So that would be the only time. If you hear anything sizzling, I got my little hot plate over here. We're making fried PB&Js. And so I'm just frying it on one side. I'm going to put the sun butter, because I don't do peanuts. So we'll do the sun butter on one. And then we'll put the jelly on the other. So, but yes, this, how about I put it on the wrong side? Come on, we got to fix this. I put the sun butter on the toasted side. I'm so distracted. I'm so distracted talking to you guys. But anyways, there we go. Perfect. Right here. Let's do that. So, I'm so glad you're joining us. How do you know if something or someone isn't right for you? Yep. Nope. I didn't speak about it yet. So yeah, we are gonna, you getting some salad? Okay, good. Thank you guys. I'm so glad you're here. So that's my announcement, is the retreats. If you want to know any more information about that, please make sure you go to wholewomanco.org for all you ladies. All the information is there for retreats. You can sign up on the mailing list. For those of you that want to be part of the marriage retreats that will come up next year, by all means, all you have to do is sign up and get in there. So I would love to have you guys. I would love to host you guys. So the retreat, I wouldn't be here. That was an announcement for next week, Friday only, and then I'll be back. And then there was another announcement I wanted to tell you guys. I don't remember. But anyways, did you steal my butter? You stole my butter. I didn't even see him, guys. He stole my butter. So I have another crew here this morning, and so they are here with me. That's where they're more quiet. You know, when Hector's here, he's loud. They are loud. So yes, this crew is a quiet crew today, but they're here. They're working behind the scenes. But that was a ninja move. I did not know that you stole that fast. So I have a question I want to answer, and I'll answer a little bit later. Let me see. Presidents, I love you, Sarah. Thank you so much. Not the butter. Yes, he stole the butter. Jennifer, he stole the butter. Oh my goodness. So I'm gonna put this on here. Where is this going? This is going right here. I'm just getting some jelly. Move this mic out the way. Nope, too far. Boom. All right, I'm gonna slap this jelly on this other side, and then we're gonna put it back on the stove for a quick little reuniting. And it's just gonna melt it together. It's the best thing. So, okay, guys, listen. Nathan, can you scroll up so I can see what I missed? Because I'm going to get into some questions, guys, that I had come through this week, and I want to know if any of you are in the similar situation. So let me know. But can you guys scroll up so I can see what was prior on the chat?
There was a long couple of paragraphs. Do you want me to read that out to you?
No, unless your mic is up.
Yeah, my mic is
Can they hear
it's
you?
good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
If you
we are
wanna,
all good.
yeah, if you want to read it, go for it.
Okay, perfect. And this is either from Andrea or Andrea. And she stated, I have a guy that goes to the same church as me,
Okay.
and he seems promising. I just want to know that I'm in the will of God. I have dated before with the intent on marriage. I really want their relationship with God to be on fire, where he is digging to know God in every area of his life.
Mm-hmm.
I want to take it slow. He has a kid that's 3 years old. On Valentine's Day, you and Tim answered my question first when it was about the pastor I dated and was planning on marrying, but ended up being manipulative when I was reading the Bible when it came to purity. I had been with women in my past, and the pastor used that against me and posted all over social media about it. That was 5 years ago. Since then, I have gone on dates with gentlemen and have been on the fringe, always wanting to know their walk with Jesus, always wanting to know their walk with Jesus is over everything. I'm 25 years old, and the gentleman I'm talking to is 35 years old. He has a house and can provide. I am frugal, and those things aren't what attach or attract me when it comes to a man. My mind is their wall with God. Everything else is extra. I just ask for prayer and wisdom as I trust God that he wants what's best for me and not to punish at all. In the past, I kept feeling like I was preparing a guy for the next woman when it came to their walk with vulnerability and God. I am just praying that when it's for me, that God cooks.
Okay. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you for sharing all that. Were you guys able to hear all of that? That was long, so I'll try to remember everything. Was there a question technically?
I think
So thank you for sharing that, Andrea. I really appreciate that and appreciate your vulnerability. But was there an actual question, or was you just sharing, like letting us know?
yeah, I want to say, I want to kind of pick this up at the beginning again. She basically said she wanted to know, she said, I just want to know that I'm in the will of God. So maybe she's looking for some reassurance,
Yeah.
and maybe if you have any feedback or anything about the situation.
Yeah. So just thank you, Andrea. Based on what you were saying, I mean, you're 25 and you're young. I want to make sure that you don't feel like you're rushing anything either, right? And I want to address and say I'm really sorry about what happened to you based on you sharing with your pastor and the frailties of human, the frailties of our human nature and how we treat people, handle people, and not knowing how to really respond. The immaturities of just all. So I'm sorry for that. I don't know if there's a really a question there, but I want to make sure that we are praying for you, right? I think if you just take things one day at a time, I think you should be guarded. I think you should be cautious. Seek guidance, seek help, and I hate that your pastor didn't do right by you. That's the bottom line. I just hate that he didn't do right by you. But take your time. I want you to find who you are first. I want you to be able to find out who you are before you engage with too many. I want you to be comforted in that. Yeah, Andrea, that's tough. And take your time. This 35-year-old, I don't have a big issue with age. I mean, I've seen people who have been in relationships that are 5, 10, 11 years. And yeah, they can have their ups and downs. They can have their issues, but I would take your time. Just really take your time and don't rush the relationship make sure you're honest with the motives. Make sure you're honest with your motives. Make sure you're honest with he's honest with his motives, and pray about everything, right? So a simple prayer. I think Tim and I may have shared this with you on the last time, so I don't remember, but we prayed an honest prayer that was, God, if this is you, keep us closer together, bring us closer together. Let's make sure that we are prayerful. Let's make sure that he is the center of our lives first before each other, right? And we're not just pretending to have God in our life for the relationship, because that's what a lot of people do. They just want to put on the facade that they have God in their life, but when they actually get into the relationship, there's no fruit of it. And so the more you spend time, you'll see if there's fruit, right? More than what they're saying, the fruit will show. And so, so I would just say, take your time, go slow, ask God for discernment, and see if he's open enough to be praying like, God, if this is you, bring us closer together. If this is not you, break us up. Because if you're really honest and we really want God's plan for our life, we really want his ultimate will. So God, whatever your ultimate will is for me in this relationship or this space, if it's with this guy, then please bring us closer together in a godly way, not in a manipulative, not in any other way that we want it to be, but in your way, bring us closer together. If not, then Father, break us up, and he will do it. It's our job not to ignore the red flags, right? When God gives us red flags for a person, a lot of times we like to call it a different color. All right. So don't ignore the red flags, and making sure that you're being honest with you. So yeah, thank you, Andrea. I appreciate it. And thank you guys for listening. You're such a great community. Yeah. So listen, there was it wasn't the exact same question. This is a marital question that came in. And again, one of those that I just happened to see it because this one came through on Instagram, but she sent it on Instagram, but she's watching here. She's in the live somewhere. So I hope you're watching. And I know you sent the message, so I'm going to answer your question now. And I'm going to read the question so everybody knows, but I won't say your name. Because she asked in confidence, and so I won't do that. But I want you all to know that a lot of times when people ask these questions or they're engaging, thank you for your vulnerability and trusting. And I just want you to know that you're not the only one. I have 2 PB&Js already ready to go, guys. So if you're ready to indulge, go for it. But I want you to know that a lot of times people have the same issue that they're dealing with, or they know somebody with the same issue. And so you're not alone. And I hope that this will help some others that might be in the same scenario, because oftentimes we end up answering questions for about 20 or 30 other people in the same set. We don't always want to admit it, but it's the truth. So this lady says, I've been married for over a decade. We are both ordained ministers. I'm his third wife, and he's my first marriage. Our struggles have been the same for the whole marriage. My husband's not willing to do anything hard. He will remain in his comfort zone at all costs. This includes providing for our house. I pay all of our bills except his vehicle. I've been the breadwinner for our entire marriage, along with cooking, cleaning, caring for our kids. And I just pay everything. He has grown through the years. There was a time where he would use my account, even if paying, when we would go out to dinner or picking up a few things from the store, he would use my account to pay for it. I knew I was in a position to make more money when we got married, but I didn't know that he would not try. We discussed him going back to school, completing degrees. He tried, but he dropped out as soon as it got hard. And I would not do his work for him, so he quit. Not only does he not help, but he criticizes how I take care of the house. We have a financial meeting every month, and he reviews all the receipts and the spending on my side, but nothing on his side. I've asked him to at least contribute to a savings. He hasn't done that yet. It's not just finances. I feel used in every way. I feel like he continually makes withdrawals from an account physically, emotionally, and financially that he doesn't contribute. My heart is overdrawn. I've shared, I've communicated, I've begged, I've prayed. Now I'm tired. I stopped going to counseling because I feel like my continued healing is leading me away from him. Our gap grows as I heal. I know what I should have done before we got married, but I'm here now. What do I do now? That's the question. I love God and I will suffer for him if that is his will, but I'm struggling to understand how he gets the glory out of this. We went to a pastor for counseling, but he was so busy recruiting us to his church that it wasn't helpful. I told my husband months ago that it was up to him to get us connected to a new counselor, either through the church or outside, but he hasn't done that yet. Now I'm gaslighting my own self because I truly believe he loves me and also believe he's a good man. I don't think he knows how much it's hurting me. I've said it, but he doesn't hear me. I'm ready to put some boundaries in place for behaviors that I'm no longer willing to support. But how do I do that if he's unwilling? This is just the surface. I've heard you say, make him do his work. What do I do if I'm married, I love God, and my husband is unwilling to do his work? So, okay, did you guys catch that? Thank you so much, sister, for sharing that. And I want to thank you for being vulnerable and transparent enough for me to be able to read all that and help you try to address it. So there's quite a bit of things, and it's really, really easy, and it's really, really quick to cast judgment. So I just want to make sure that we do not cast judgment. We are aware, right? But we're not. We're going to talk to the wife right now, okay? And it's very easy to take this moment to probably criticize the husband and say all kinds of things, but that's not the goal in which we want to do, right? So I want to first try to comfort you. I want you to know that I see you. I hear you. And most importantly, like, I hear your heart and I feel the burden that you are carrying. I feel like you are just in this place that is stuck and you don't know what to do. And based on what you said, you are trying everything and he is not hearing you. So I understand that this is a very vulnerable place for you to be in. And I want to say that I am sorry that your husband is not keeping up his end of the bargain. I am aware that you said that this was his third marriage. So this is heartbreaking. This is just heartbreaking. And this is your first. I imagine that you didn't expect marriage to be this way. And I want to tell you that it shouldn't be this way. This is not how marriage is supposed to be. I'm not sure what the initial onset was when you got married, because as always, everything has a genesis. And I'm not sure why or how we got here. So maybe there could be some areas, right, on both of our sides to say, okay, I probably did see those flags and I ignored them in the beginning. And now we're here, right? I hate the fact that for 10 years you have been suffering and struggling and you haven't been seen or heard from your spouse and constantly taking, it sounds very manipulative. I mean, if you haven't seen any growth in 10 years. Now, I heard what you said in your text, that he's a good man. And I'm not saying he's not a good man, but he may not be a good married man, right? You could be a good person and you may not be great for marriage. All right. So when I think about what you said about he's been married three times, of course, everybody doesn't get it right the first time. So there's no judgment there. And I need to also say, everybody's not wrong either. Right? So if you've been married 3 times, are all 3 of those people wrong? The common denominator is the person. Right? So either he's picking wrong, I'm not saying you're the wrong one, but either he's picking wrong or he's not doing his work. In either of those scenarios, both of the issue is with him. Okay. Now, with you probably coming to an extent, the other three women all got one thing in common is they didn't stay. Now, am I going to tell you to leave your spouse? I'm not going to say those words to you. What I am going to say is I need you to see what is the value. I want you to ask him a question and say, are you opposed to us getting effective marital counseling? If not, then you're going to have to make some really hard decisions. And the really hard decisions is based on what you wrote, I just don't know what value he's adding. Again, you can be a good man and you may not be marriage material. Everything in marriage is about sacrifice. And there's nothing that you've said to me that has shown any sacrifice on his part. Now, yes, am I just hearing a one-sided story? Sure. But I am hearing a one-sided story from the one person who reached out. Okay, now I want to hope and assume that maybe he's reached out to somebody, but the fact that he is really not doing anything, not taking care of any of the bills, not really watching the kids, not working, not doing anything, not providing, you're paying all the bills, and then is kind of telling you, well, you need to do this and I need to review what you're doing, seems like you're in a very manipulative relationship. It seems like you're in a very narcissistic relationship, which nothing about it seems healthy. And so the challenge for you, sister, is you are going to have to make a decision to say, is this how you want to live for the next 10 years of your life, for the next 20 years of your life? Is this what you want to do? Or are you so committed, or is your belief system so strong in the marital unit that because I've gotten married, I can't change my situation, that God looks at this marriage unit more than he loves me? Are we so bound by biblical scripture that says God doesn't like divorce, and maybe that's what you're in? So I want you to say, I'm not advocating for divorce, but I am advocating for health. I am advocating to make sure that your mental health is right. I am advocating for not being abandoned. I am advocating for you not being rejected. So let's be very clear. And so I can't, again, I'm not going to tell you to leave, but I am going to tell you to really consider what is it that you want, because you do not have to be bound in an unhealthy marriage for the sake of being married, right? And I want you to know that the way he is, the way that you are experiencing and that you are perceiving this marriage is not the way marriage should be. It is not the way marriage is depicted. It is not the way God wants marriage to be. So for this being your first marriage, I want you to know that this has probably not been the best 10 years of your life. And so that's what I'm sorry for, that you're experiencing this. There's just, the Bible talks about sacrifice on both sides, the husband and the wife. The husbands are supposed to love their bride like Christ loved the church and gave himself for the church. Are you trying to get this peanut butter and jelly sandwich? And gave himself for the church. It doesn't seem like your husband has been giving or sacrificing anything for you based on what you said. It says, we're supposed to submit and love our husbands and all that. Yes, we're all supposed to be doing a submitting. Our lives are supposed to be submitting to Jesus himself. He is supposed to be the Lord of our lives individually, okay? And so as we are both walking with the Lord ourselves and we come together in a marital unit, as the husband is praying for God's will and to hear God, and the wife is doing the same, she's praying, God was our choice. We're coming together and we are praying together in unison. And God, what do you have for us as a unit? And see, when we leave God out of our situations, these are the things that happen, right? We are not, there has not been any level of sacrifice at all. And so I'm just wanting you to say that if you continue, I'm not going to say he's going to change. I can't say he's going to change. He hasn't changed in 10 years. I'm curious to see where your headspace is in regards to believing maybe some of this manipulation that you have clearly been involved in the last 10 years. Because what bothers me the most is that you said, yeah, he's a good man, and I'm gaslighting myself. See, that level of manipulation where you are now blaming yourself for his actions, that's where it's wrong. And so if he is unwilling to get help, if he is unwilling to do the work, if he is unwilling to do anything, to do marital support, and he's just not adding any value, then sister, again, him being a minister doesn't mean anything to me. It doesn't mean anything if you are not doing, if you are not applying this biblical word, right? So you need to make a decision. You need to make a hard decision, because you putting up boundaries in this type of relationship just means that now you are guarded. It now means that you are going to remain in this marriage in an unsafe place, because now you're going to put up boundaries. That means you're going to put up walls, because now, you know what? I can't even trust him with this. I can't trust him with my heart. So now why are we even here? I hate that. If you can't live in a marriage, in a relationship that you can live freely and openly, then why are we here? Right? If he's literally unwilling to raise the kids, pay the bills, do anything, gaslight you, fussing at you, you're doing all the work, you're doing everything, and he's taking, and you're not getting any added value back, sweetheart, I want you to be okay and your mental health to be okay, and I want you to know that God loves you. There is one of my favorite verses in the Bible is Genesis 4 verse 6. And this is when Cain and Abel gave their sacrificial offering to God. And it says that, Cain was the firstborn, and he tilled the ground, and Abel kept the animals and the sheep. And when it came time to sacrifice, Abel gave the most honorable sacrifice. He gave the first fruits of his of the farming of the land, of the animals that he gave. He gave the first fruit out of the purest of his heart. He gave God the first. And it just said that Cain, he did sacrifice, but it wasn't the first. And when he saw that God didn't honor the sacrifice, it said that Cain's countenance had fallen. Now, if you read in verse 5, 4 and 5, it talks about that when Cain gave the sacrifice to God, that God was angry. It said God's countenance has fallen. God was angry. He was very mad at Cain's sacrifice. At the end of the day, Cain didn't, just to sum it up, the difference was Cain didn't give it out of a good heart. After he realized that God did not honor the sacrifice, then it said that Cain's countenance had fallen. And it also said that Cain was angry and he was mad. That lets you know right there that the heart that Cain had was not pure and genuine. If God didn't honor something that you did, the first thing we should have been is had a more tender heart to say, God, what did I do? What did I do? What did I do wrong? Come with a more broken and contrite heart. And he did not. And yet, even it said that God was angry with Cain, he still cared enough about him to say, Cain, why has your countenance fallen? He said, Cain, I am mad at you, but I also know you well enough to know that you are frustrated at my response to you. You're frustrated, and your frustration concerns me. Why? Because I love you. Now, Juliet, why are you saying all that? I'm saying all that to say, sister, God loves you so much that he is saying, why has your countenance fallen? I think sometimes we forget the simple things that God loves. And I want you to know, I'm saying that to say that he loves you and cares about you more than the entity of the marriage. He wants to make sure that you are okay. He's not going to put the entity of marriage above how you are feeling, right? God doesn't work in idolatry like that. Okay. God doesn't work in pedestals like that. Okay. God has priorities, and the priority is the person first. I have said this. I have said this before, and that is, oh, I just lost the thought. Lord, bring it back. I looked at something and it thwarted my thought. But at the end of the day, God loves you, sweetheart. Okay. He loves you way more than the entity itself. And I want you to know that he loves you to know that he wants you to be okay. And in this relationship that you're in, you are not okay. And the fact that he has, that you have taken the time to write this very long text, I need you to know that he's going to be okay with your decision, and that you're going to have to make a hard decision. And if you stay, okay, if you stay, there might not be any change. So I just want you to know you need to decide how you want to live the rest of your life. And maybe at the genesis of this relationship, maybe it wasn't supposed to be from the beginning, right? I'm not going to sit here, guys. Like, listen, when it comes to marriages and relationships, it's all about sacrifices and couples doing their part together. And when one person is doing everything all the time and there's no sacrifice on both ends, you got to start reevaluating. You have to start being really honest with yourself. You do. If he is not willing to get any help and go to counseling and do anything, then you have hard decisions to make. That's the bottom line. I know I went in a long circle, but I did that on purpose. I want you to know that that God sees that your countenance has fallen. That's how much he loves you. He sees that your heart is broken, and I'm telling you, he does not like that. And he's so concerned about you. He wants to know how you got here. And so in your prayer time today, I want you to go before the Lord, and I want you to just let your heart be broken before him, not to your husband. I don't want you to whine and complain to him and all that. Right, like right now, this is for you. I want you to do something very private and personal to you, and that is in your prayer closet, in your car ride at home. I want you to have a very broken heart before the Lord. And I want you to share everything. The things you did right, the things you didn't right, the things you've been experiencing, the way you think, how it is, and ask him to say, now, Lord, this is where I'm at, and I'm frustrated, and I'm angry, and I am overwhelmed, and I don't know what to do. And so, and I'm blaming myself, and some of these things aren't right, and I've ignored the red flags. Like, I want you to just be brutally honest with God, because that's what he wants. And after you get all of that out, and after you've cried all of that out, I want you to make sure that you leave space, a quiet space, for him to just love on you. We're going to ask the Holy Spirit to comfort you, because that's what the Holy Spirit is for. He is a comforter, right? But we only need the comforter. We only need him as the comforter when we are in times of grief. And right now you are in a time of grief. And so ask him to show up as the comforter, okay? Let him comfort you, and then sit in a time of silence and wait to hear what God speaks and says, okay? But you are going to have some hard decisions to make, and I just don't want I don't know what your belief system on church is. I don't know what your belief system on divorce is. I don't know what your belief system in marriages is, but when you read that Bible, it clearly tells you what our roles together should be doing. And I'm not talking about cooking and cleaning and paying bills. I'm talking about the sacrifice of our heart toward God and toward each other, how that should be together, and how that is very absent. And if he is a deacon or a minister in word but not in deed, then we need to be really honest with that as well, right? So we're going to walk this thing out, but you have to make some hard decisions. Okay. All right. I hope that helps. I don't want to take up all the time answering that. But guys, listen, I know these are quick lunches. These are our lunches with Jew. But I want you to know this is why I built this entire mentorship platform, is so that I can do this in depth with you for a whole year. We are in the Mentor You platform to do this, to walk with you through life and all the ills in a way more deeper way. And so that's what this is for. That's what Mentor You is for, okay? I won't be able to go into all kinds of deep things here over lunch because it's just an hour, but this is why I built it, to walk through life with you guys in these spaces. And so thank you, sister, for sharing that. I hope this helps. I don't want to give you too much stuff, but I hope this was enough that you're just going to have some really strong considerations to do. And but I love you, and the community loves you, and we are here for you. Okay. All right. I think there was some questions in there, guys. You might have to scroll back up.
There's a great question from
Yeah,
Esther.
Esther. Or where is it? Is it scrolling up?
Yeah, I can scroll up and I can also read it to you. Give me 1 second.
Esther.
She asked
He's
a
looking
really
for you,
great
Esther.
Question, excuse me. And I can go ahead and it's on the screen now, but I can go ahead and read it to you if you'd like.
The what? How can I, as a Christian parent?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll read it. How can I, as a Christian parent, differentiate between a spiritual issue and a normal emotional need in my child, especially considering my own upbringing in a legalistic household where emotions were often misattributed to spiritual problems? Oh, yeah, great question, Esther. Thank you for that. All right, how can I, as a Christian parent, differentiate between a spiritual issue and a normal emotional need in my child? Yeah, that's so great. A lot of times, households, they will bring you up in a very legalistic way. I think the fact that you are aware that you were brought up in a legalistic way, that should be actually a softening in your heart right there to know. I think you even posing the question lets me know that you are that you have a tenderness about you, and that you are aware that there is a natural response and a spiritual response. So I want to say that on the onset of this, you are already in a position to distinguish, because the way you even pose the question, know that you can understand that there is a difference between the two. A lot of times we just over spiritualize a lot of things in many legalistic homes. We over spiritualize a lot of things because the parent just didn't know how to be there for you emotionally. They just didn't have it. They didn't know how to comfort you. And so they put Jesus glitter and they put Bible on every single thing, which did not always bring comfort. A lot of times it brings disregard, it brings disdain, it brings anger towards the Bible because it's often misapplied and injected in the wrong places at the wrong time sometime. And so, so for you, the very best thing you can do is always be the loving parent first. Okay. So she didn't say how old the child is, unless I missed that. Esther, are you able to give me an example? Like, are you able to put an example of how, when you interact with your child in the chat, to determine, is this a practical, or is this how I need to do the spiritual, and how old is the child? Because all these things play a role, right? So how old is your kid? And then, and is the child in a mature place spiritually to receive what you're saying, right? So we need to learn how to make sure that we are, when we talk about the things of God to the kids, that we talk to them like we're 5. So I'm going to say this, and hopefully this doesn't offend people. In fact, I'll reverse that. This is what I tell people how to talk to me all the time. I tell them, talk to me like I'm 5 years old, not in any way of disrespect, but break it down to me in such simplest terms so that I don't misunderstand you in any way, shape, or form. So that when I give a response, that I can give a response back to you that is palatable for you, right? And that it is palatable for me. So if I don't know if Esther is in there, if she's did it, but again, I think we just need to make sure that we are always first meeting the emotional need first, always, every time. Then, if it's appropriate, we can add on the spiritual need. And then giving the spiritual advice doesn't mean beating them over the head with it. Doesn't always mean, you know what the Bible says, you know what the Bible says, you know what the Bible says, because that just seems judgmental. And when you're used to it, hello, watching from South Africa, I love you. There she is. She responded, I am very intentional to not repeat my childhood traumas. Oh, good. They're 6 and 8. Yeah. Love them first. And that is your win. Love them first, always with the emotional needs and the parent support. If they're doing something that you know is like really going against the will of God and what God has, then there's a way that you can bring it to them with love and conviction without judgment, right? So it's the way we say things. It's the tone in which we say things. It's the temperament of our heart when we convey things. And so sometimes, again, legalism comes with judgment, comes with tone, comes with anger, comes with finger pointing. And that is really not what it has to be. So how we convey, the way we convey, and with love. And you're going to win every time, right? And again, break things down. 6 and 8, they're still kids, they're still loved. So let them know, hey, you know what? God would, if this is a way that we can do it. There's a lot of great resources out there for children and kids that we can break it down to them in simpler terms. But really, your love for them emotionally first is most important, because then the spiritual part will come on and it'll be meaningful to them. All right, I hope that helps, Esther. Thank you so much for asking that question. Okay, sorry, the thing is moving.
Gabriella has a question. Can you see hers?
It just says, I'm suffering from mental illness. I'm so broken and I have no one to share with, no support system for as long as I can remember. I have 2 beautiful teenage girls. They need me and I need to be there for them. Gabriella, so yeah. It just said that you're suffering from mental illness and you're so broken, you have no one to share with. So Gabriella, are you able to be in a place where you can get some sort of therapeutic guidance or mental health help? Are you able to be in a place where you can seek guidance or counsel? Are you able to get some support from somewhere? I know we have a Discord community, whether it's through the Mentor You Discord community or the B-Side Discord community. Everybody is so loving and kind in there. I don't know where you're at, but if you are able to maybe say a little bit more, how can we be able to assist you better? I'm always for counseling. I always feel like there is always help. Like if you're able to chime in on this chat, then you can get resources that you need. Okay, if you're able to put a comment in, then there has to be a way that you can get some help. So there are different. We have a counseling center that you can go to that's completely online. We can help you wherever you are in the world. You can also go to BetterHelp. They have different types of counseling that they do. They have chat. Like there are resources. There's a lot of local churches and there's churches abroad where they may offer free counseling. But there is counseling. They have a lot of online support numbers. I don't know if we have any right here that we could pull up quickly, but if you check in the chat later, we can make sure that we have it. You're more than welcome to go to our counseling center and say, hey, Juliet told me to put in the chat that I need some mental health resources. Can you give me a list of free resources? Please go to our BALM Counseling Center. You can go to theBALM, BALM counseling.com, and just fill out the interest form and just say, please put the list of resources there for you, and we will make sure that we get back to you. So if we don't have it up right here, we can definitely get it. But I want you to know, sister, you do not have to be alone. You may feel alone, but you are not alone because you are right here in this chat. There's communities where it is very safe for you to talk with and share and be a resource. So, but I'm so glad you're here, and thank you for sharing that. She said she's in Dubai. I tried in church here, but not really getting the help I need. Okay. If in the U.S., you could dial 988. Okay, Bernard, you were talking. Thank you. You're giving some phone number. I don't know if you gave it all the way. I can't fully see it. Thank you, Gabriella, for being here. There's resources here 24 hours in the U.S. that you need. I don't know about resources in Dubai, if I'm being honest, but I do know here. And so, okay, 988 is great for the U.S. for mental health resources. So please use it and get the support that you need. The Discords are open 24 hours. Please know that you are surrounded by love. And maybe where you are, it might have to be digital love for now. It might have to be a digital community for now. But there is a person behind those keystrokes, okay? There's nobody AI in here. We are all human. And we can relate. We can relate to being distant. We can relate to being afar off. But we are here. And we are here every Friday for you. So I'm so glad. What time is it? What time is it where you are in Dubai? What time is it in where you are in Dubai right now? Maybe she'll put in the chat, but I'm so glad you're here. Okay, guys, so this is our community, and I'm so glad you're here. You all are very loving. You are very kind. Listen, we have resources for all of you. This is why we built it. The whole platform that we built, this YouTube channel, I know it's just an hour. It's hard to help everybody in 1 hour for lunch. But I'm so glad that I get to talk to you guys, even if it's for this time. But our entire platform, our Mentor You platform, is for you. Come in and join me where we can talk way more in depth for a year. We've got all kinds of payment plans for you. You got deposits you could pay monthly. But it's not just me in there. It's me and a bunch of other people to get your monies right, to get your single parenting right, to get your marriage right. We have an entire resource for you. So I want to make sure you know that we're here to help you in every way. Counseling, mentoring, marriage, family, we are here. 10 p.m. Yep. So you're having dinner, a late dinner snack with me. So yeah, you're here, Gabriella, and I thank you for being here. Come on, Jew crew. I see you, AP. Okay, I'll take one more question and then we're gonna go. Okay, guys. And again, remember next week will be. Next week I will be off because I'll be doing the Pastor's Wives Retreat. Okay. But we will be back that following week, and we'll make sure that it's posted on Instagram and YouTube here. We'll make sure we keep it up. Nissa, hi, Drew. I'm married 13 years, disabled 6. Went away. Where'd it go? Disabled. Where we go? Disabled. 6 couple therapy. Been told by spouse only married you, so no one else would. And not capable of emotional attachment. I feel alone, hurt, not loved. I'm lost. Hi, Nissa. Very sorry to hear that. I know you're probably typing pretty fast. Can you scroll back? I'm married 13 years, disabled. Couples therapy. Been told by my spouse only married you, so no one else would. Are you saying that he told you that he only married you because no one else would marry you? Nissa, I just want to make sure I am reading that clearly. Are you saying that your spouse told you that he only married you so that no one else could marry you, or that he only married you because he is saying nobody else would marry you? That's what I need to know. I just need clarity on that. It could be, but I want to make sure. So, thank you guys, appreciate it. Kimberly Key, can you answer mine, please? Okay, so Kimberly Key, I'll wait until Nissa, okay, could marry me. All right, now go back up, Jarrell, to her question. I'm married 3 years. Okay, so been told by my spouse only marry me, so no one else could marry me. Yeah, almost like he's taking her off the market. Like he's, yeah, so he's taking you off the market so that no one else could marry you. But you're saying that he's not giving you any emotional attachment. You feel alone, not loved, and you've been married 13 years. So Are you able to go a little bit deeper into how he's not being there? Oh, she said in the Discord before. Oh, did I already answer this in the Discord? Is that what you're saying, Pax? Hi, Jasmine R. You're from Dallas, down the street. Okay, so and Pax could be talking about a different person. Okay, okay, so he took you off the market so that no one else could marry you. Okay, but then he hasn't been there. You said you have. I'm assuming you tried couples therapy for 6 years. Did it work? Is it working? We're feeling lost in what way? So I would just need probably a bit more information. But I do feel sorry. I feel sorry that you're in this situation that you feel lost. So I want to make sure that oh, you were providing Pax, providing some clarity about Nissa. Okay. So Nissa, did I answer this in the Discord already? I don't remember, to be honest with you guys. So let me know. But anyway, if he married you to not emotionally, okay. I would need to know more about how he's not providing for you. I mean, is he not talking to you at all? Is he please explain if you can. Like, he's not there emotionally. Is he not listening to you? Do you guys not have conversations? So if you would have to just break that down for me. Okay. And then while you do that, if you're able to do that, it could just be better. I just feel a little limited on wanting to give you a deeper answer if he's just not there emotionally. But are you telling him he's not there emotionally? He's saying he's not able to. Does he have a disability that he's not? Does he have a disability that he's not able to provide for you emotionally? Have you said, hey, what is it? Because if you've been to counseling for 6 years, I would just feel like I feel like I'm a little at a disadvantage answering this question maybe as it was posed. So if you could, I know your response is gonna take a little bit second. Surface convos, not deep, no hand holding. No, he's not disabled. Okay. Okay. So a lot of times people don't know how to have deeper conversations. No hand holding. He's not disabled. Have you ever, does he share why? Could it be a family of origin? Maybe his family was never emotional. Was he this way before you married him? You know what I mean? Was he this, been in marriage counseling for 8 months? Yeah, it's going to take longer than 8 months for sure. Cause the therapist is going to have to get to the deeper part. So hopefully the marriage counseling will, maybe get better. If it's not, you might need to seek a different therapist. But sometimes it takes time. So I don't know if you married him like this. I don't know if he's always been like this. If he's always been like this, then that's just who he is. So we can't expect him to change. Now you need to let him know, hey, it'd be nice if you held my hand. Is there a way that you could do that? Can you show me some emotion? So dig deeper into your therapy. You're gonna need to go more for longer than 8 months. And I don't know if he's giving you any reasons why. So, but yeah, that would have to be a more marriage counseling show. I cannot wait for Dearly Beloved to come out. I am like so thrilled about it. That is a show that is where I do live marriage counseling with couples. And we sit down and we film, and it's free. I do the marriage counseling for free. The only thing is that the exchange is that you're willing to be open enough to have your marriage counseling done with the cameras rolling, so that we can help other marriages get the help that they need. And a lot of times couples need to see themselves, and they think they're the only ones going through stuff, and they're not. And so for the Dearly Beloved show, that's what we do. Is the cameras are rolling, but I won't shame anybody, right? That's just not my MO ever. And so that is the goal, is to make sure that this is not for Entertainment, dearly beloved, is not for entertainment. It is for empowerment. It is for marital growth. It is for relational growth. And it is brave couples that have signed up and are signing up to be able to say, the cameras are rolling and we're going to talk about all the things. And we're going to be very brave because we're going to help a lot of other couples out there do this. And so, very excited about that. So, we had a Google form for people to fill out. I don't know where the Google form is, so we'll have to put another one up for the dearly beloved. But that's some brave couples who's open for the cameras to roll. You won't even see them, but they're rolling, and then we'll put it out like in 30-minute increments, like a show. But I do promise there is no shaming in that. So I've just been figuring out a way where to put it because I don't just want to put it out on YouTube. I want to make sure that you guys feel safe in how you share, that we limit the who I call scallywags of anybody just trying to shame you or shame the decisions that you've made. Like, it is not about judging. It is about how can we help other couples while we're sharing the same thing. So, or while we're walking through marriage counseling. That's typically very private and intimate. And are you okay with sharing that to the world? And to know, like, let's bring this divorce rate down. So that's the goal for that. So, and thank you for all you brave souls who have previously signed up. That has definitely been a great journey. So, but yes, this is dearly beloved is, I'm so excited about it. I tell people it's boring. It's a boring show because it's not for your entertainment. We're walking through lives, these people's marriages. And the goal is for you to see yourself in the situation and not say that you don't have any tools or resources to get the marital help that you need, right? So you won't be able to say that because me and another couple are here to help. And me and these other couples are here to help and say, hey, we're going through the same thing. So yeah, I love helping people. So we're going to help these marriages, guys. And that will be probably through our Upset the World part of the site. We're going to help these pastors. We're going to help these leaders. We have the mentor platform to help just people that need mentorship. There's a lot of people that need mentorship. And a lot of you are so kind that you want me to mentor you one-on-one. And I would love to. There's just nothing in my heart that brings me more joy than to see people get the help. But I can't do it in 1 hour. So that's why I created the platform. So you get in there, it's me and others, and it's a year walking through. So guys, it's for people that want to do their work and that want to grow and that want to be challenged and that want to change their situation. Like, that's what that's for. It's for people that are like, we are not going to just have excuses to stay where we are. I am going to always be about the challenge. I'm going to always be about how can we get better. I want to see us get better. I just believe that God is in a season of healing right now and growth. And it is not all about, I'm not saying he doesn't. He does do miraculous healings. But I'm saying I believe that God is in a season of healing right now, but healing in a type of way where he's like, I'm sick of these marriages failing. I'm sick of people not doing their work. I'm like ready for my people to do better, be stronger, and grow. And let's heal in our heart. Let's heal in our mind. Let's heal in our emotions. And so that is the goal. This is the purpose of this Mentor You platform. Like, let's heal, and not in the traditional ways of how we've made church seem, how we've made healing be sensational, right? Healing is in our hands, yes, and it's in our words, and it's in our heart, and it's in our presence, and it's in the way we speak and how we heal other people. And so when we limit it to just his miraculous arm, when we just limit healing to God's just miraculous arm of dunamis power, that's one way. But God uses so many ways to heal people. And so that is why I built the Mentor You platform. So please go check it out. Please sign up. I'm in there. I do a Wednesday morning devotional, and whatever you guys need. Like I'm going to have a general mentoring in there. So whatever you all want to talk about, we can. But I have people in there that are doing finances, doing business talks, having you guys get your retirement right, getting your budget in order, how you guys transition, like transitioning and starting over when life happens, finding who you are, finding your purpose, finding who you are without anything else. Who are you without your kids? Who are you without your spouse? Who are you without your job? Who are you? Right? That's what this is about, is finding who you are in Christ. This is how we want to live our the rest of our life. Maybe we didn't know these things back then, but you're here now. So how can we make our future steps better? Right? Let's live our best life. Let's live our exceptional life, not just an okay life. Okay? Not just in a mundane, simple, basic life. Let's live it the best life that we can. We don't know how many days we have left ahead of us, okay? We don't know when our last breath is going to be taken. So let's live our best life every day as best as we can, and that starts with perspective. Sometimes we need help adjusting our perspective and the way we see things. And so, yeah, please join me and the other mentors so we can just live. I promise you, in a year, you're going to see a turnaround in your life. It takes a year for people to turn corners and make hard decisions. But I guarantee you, that you're going to be a different person, a better person, a year after this year's journey. So yeah, anyway, I mentioned list myself being everything, everyone. Yeah, you got to find yourself. You got to find yourself, guys. So, and I want to help you find you. I want to help you find you and live your best life. I get frustrated. I love to see people fulfilling their passion. And I see so many people that are not. They're just existing. And I tell you guys, I don't exist. I live life every day. And I do the things I choose to do. And I try not to have any regrets. I try to live my life with no regrets. So yeah, I want that for you guys. Okay. All right. I know we are coming. I see we've got more questions coming in, but guys, there are other things I've got to get. I've got some, handle some things. So I know this is really going a little bit more than in our hour time. And I know we've been used to it, but I love you guys today. Can you hold? Keep your questions, bring them in, and I'll try to get them for next week. I think there was one I did promise to answer. Did I? I think it was a Kimberly one. Did I say that?
Yeah, Kimberly.
Did she put it in there? Did she leave?
Dropped her question again. Yeah. And also a quick reminder too, we are a close-knit, friendly, loving, caring community. And it is so important that we hold a certain level of intimacy with everything that we're doing as well. So just wanted to let you know that our Discord is a safe space. If there are some questions that you pose in the live stream that we're not able to get to immediately, please don't hesitate to join the Discord and drop those questions in there as well. Unfortunately, too, in the Discord, all of the mentors are there as well. So, some of them may be inclined to, help answer some of those questions as well. So, we definitely see you and we hear you and we love you. Just in case we don't get to your question, just want to let you know that the Discord is also a great place as well outside of these live sessions. But I do have the question up on the screen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm reading it now.
And she's reading it right now.
How do you not go ahead of God? God has given me a vision to help pregnant and postpartum women with beauty and self-care services, but I have 3 under 3, and I want to pursue the vision. Great question, Kimberly. And this will be our last question for the day. But I did tell you I think I mentioned it earlier that I would answer that question. So the way you don't go ahead of God is by asking him for the timing. God does give us vision. He gives us passions. And I think a lot of time we get so passionate to do it, and we forget to ask God the when. And that's been the biggest key thing. We have to ask God when. When God speaks, he is in eternity, right? We are bound by the parameters of time. And so when God puts things on our heart, we sometimes think, because when God speaks, we feel it sitting on our chest. It's like a pressing. We got to do it right now. We got to do it right away. And so sometimes it is, okay, Lord, when? Maybe he's telling you and you're in the season of receiving it, hearing it, receiving it, taking it all in, and then preparing, thinking of how to execute, praying, God, what does this look like? When does this look like, right? Sometimes when God speaks and we hear him, we just kind of forget. We want to rush into and we forget. And so we end up saying, we just start putting the things into action right away instead of putting prayer into action, right? We put our hands to action first instead of prayer into action. So when God gives you something, you've got to bathe that thing in prayer all the time. Bathe it in prayer, bathe it in prayer. Lord, deepen it, show me in clarity. Because what we may initially think what it is may not be how he ultimately wants it to look. So we have to bathe that thing in prayer. God, is there any tweaks? Here's what I'm thinking. Is this what you want? My heart is open and teachable for you to tweak whatever you want. See, that takes time. Lord, when's the timing? My heart wants it to be tomorrow because I'm excited. But God, I want your timing because in your timing, you're going to provide. So in your case, Kim, it was Kim, right? Yep. Your case, Kim, you have 3 children under 3. Did I read that right? I know the thing moved away. I thought you said you have 3 kids under 3. Yeah, honey, I'm if I can just be really honest and transparent with you right now, he's probably given you that vision. But right now you have 3 little humans to take care of under 3, which is a lot. And that takes up your time. Now, you can pursue the vision because you are looking for an outlet for you as well. You have 3 kids under 3, which is a lot of work that you're doing already. And you need an outlet, right? I'm assuming you probably don't have an outlet for yourself. And this is a very sensitive vision that you have. It's possible that you yourself have experienced, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but a lot of times when people have vision for something, it's because they've probably experienced it. And so I think that this is a beautiful vision that you have. But for now, in the space that you're in, it may be more conducive to just birth, just to think and pray. Think it through, write it out, write out the details of it, and ask God when. If you do find yourself having some time, maybe give yourself an hour a day or an hour or two a day to just work on it and spend the time developing. What does this look like? What are your costs going to incur? You know what I mean? What is packaging? Maybe just doing research. As God begins to unfold and puts more in your heart, he's going to impress it on your heart, the when. But what he's not going to do is overwhelm you. He's not going to overwhelm you. All right. So we have to pump brakes. We have to make sure that our excitement isn't getting the best of us and that we are in the timing of God. I promise you, you will know that it is peace. You will be governed by his peace and it will be easy. Like, I'm not saying it won't be work when it's time, but you will be at peace while you're doing it. And God will make provision for it. If you're stressed and overwhelmed, this may not be the time. Not that the vision isn't there, but maybe the timing to enact the vision overnight may not be it. But maybe thinking about it, doing research, getting your stuff together, and then saying, okay, God, give me the grace and space, create the space of when I can do it. Okay, if I can do this between 6 and 9, and that's just really, I'm not doing anything, and I would love to, God, if that's the time you want, then okay. But really, 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 please, please pray and put that thing in prayer because I promise you, he's going to give you the peace and he's going to show you what to do, when to do. I am a firm believer in God giving blueprints to people for what he wants. God gave Noah the blueprint to build that ark, okay? And God does not love Noah more than he loves everybody else. If God is able to give Noah specific details to build that ark, from measurements to brick to everything, that lets me know that he loves you enough that he will give you specific details, specific timing, specific everything to build this business and this vision for you. I promise you, he is not a respecter of person. He didn't just do it for Noah. He will do it for you. But you have to make sure you're in a place and space to be able to hear him clearly, making sure you're spending time with him. And I promise you, he will guide that footsteps. But ask the question, okay, Lord, when? All right, guys, I love you all so much. Thank you Thank you. Thank you for joining me with Lunchtime with you today. And I won't see you next week, okay? But I will see you in 2 weeks. So please come back. I hope to see you guys on the Mentor You platform. We can dig a lot through here deeper. And I love you guys. I'll see you then, okay? Bye.